My name is Michael Edwards. I'm 38 years old. I was born and raised in the city of Petersburg, and here I still reside. My family spans back generations. My grandfather was a former sheriff's deputy under the late Sheriff Harper. My grandmother was a school crossing guard for the city of Petersburg at Peabody Middle, and my mom still resides here. So my civic engagements throughout the city spans back to when I was 13 years old. I began attending city council meetings when we were meeting in the General District Courthouse on Tabb Street. During that time, the mayor was former Senator Rosalind Dance, and by attending those meetings is what sparked my passion to be involved in local government and civic engagement throughout the community. During that time, I've had numerous opportunities to be on various campaigns, from former Senator Rosalind Dance's delegate campaign to her Senate campaign, her re-election campaign. I was on Senator Morrissey's campaign, former Delegate Aird's campaign. I was a campaign manager for our current Commissioner of Revenue, which saw her win in all 7 wards through the city. After that, I was appointed by City Council to be the inaugural board of the Anti-Poverty Commission, where I served as vice chair and later served 2 terms as chairperson of that board. That board is still in operation today, and it's appointed by City Council. I was then appointed by City Council to serve on the Petersburg Planning Commission, where I currently serve now as vice chair. During my time on the Anti-Poverty Commission, I was able to get firsthand knowledge of the issues that plague the city when it comes to a poverty problem. And Petersburg has a very big poverty problem. Based on the latest data of 2022, Petersburg has 23% of adults living in poverty and a staggering 33% of children living in poverty throughout the households. And that's a problem. And I think we should do more to address those issues, because our children shouldn't have to grow up in a poverty-stricken household. I know everybody's family situation is different. Everybody's life story is different. But our motto on the Anti-Poverty Commission was not giving somebody a hand out, but give them a hand up. And we're taught that we should help our fellow man in the time of need, not by giving them a hand out, but giving them the option to have a hand up. And what do I mean by that? Is providing opportunities for them, whether it be jobs, financial training, home ownership. If there's an education problem, reach out to the school system to try to see if they can qualify to be in the adult continuing education program, something which I took advantage of. We need to be more proactive than reactive, and that's one thing that I've always tried to do, was to give our citizens information when they come to me with a problem, whether it be, how do I contact social services? Hey, I'm having a problem with a landlord, who do I talk to? I don't have no air conditioning, can you help me? Or, I direct them to the Crater District Agency on Aging. Those little bit of information helps people. Civic engagement will always be strong with me, because I believe in keeping people connected, keeping them informed, and making sure that they are not caught off guard with some surprises that may pop up. During the Planning Commission, we've advanced millions of dollars in economic development projects. One of the most controversial votes that I took when I first got appointed on the Planning Commission was the sale of Virginia Avenue School. And everybody knows Virginia Avenue School has been an eyesore for many, many years. We were presented with a plan to change the zoning to help revitalize that property. And I had some hard questions for the developers during that meeting. And for the sake of our seniors and our veterans and the revitalization of that area, which is Ward 5, I voted to advance the project. It hasn't been all what it should have been. We've been met with many delays, many excuses, but now progress is being made on it, and hopefully when that Project is online. It will serve as a new hub for our seniors and our veterans, because I believe we should do everything we can to look out for those that have sacrificed and served our country through selfless service. Plus our seniors have worked hard through the years and just want some kind of peace in mind and comfort of a home without the hassle of repairs and the burden that home ownership brings on our seniors. We voted to advance a multi-million-dollar warehouse project on the County Drive area, which will bring in jobs. That was another one that I held my feet to the floor on. I had numerous questions. I even voted to delay it twice until I had everybody at a meeting to answer my questions. And during that meeting, there was some resistance from some conjuncting property owners, and I made the comment that we're not going to make votes that will please everybody, but the votes that we take will help better the city. And Petersburg is on the rise, and its better days are coming. So the current status of the city. Petersburg has come a long way since 2016. We've made some tough choices. One of the main things that we did was, reluctantly, we had to reduce our city salaries by 10% to try to balance the budget. That was one of the hardest things that I've ever seen City Council do. As I stated, being an elected person, you're not going to please everybody, and every vote that you take is not going to sit well with everybody. But at the end of the day, it's about what's right for the city. So let's talk about what the city has done since 2016. Now, I'm currently not elected, but I have been part of this process since age 13. I follow it very close. Since we came out of the financial crisis, Petersburg now has a balanced budget. We have multi-million-dollar investments currently in progress, primarily AMPAC, Flow, and Civica out off of Wagner Road. Those are major job creators that Petersburg had a fighting chance to win, and we succeeded in winning. When we had Brandon Williamson pull out in the 80s, Petersburg never really bounced back. So now we're at an opportunity where we've crossed that crossroads, and now we're on that hill to a better Petersburg. And those are some of the one of the major developments that we have going on now. Another thing is we have the partnership with Bright Point Community College, formerly John Tyler, which allows our public school students and our citizens who are seeking jobs at the pharmaceutical plants will come and be able to go through Bright Point to get the schooling that they need to get those jobs. Another thing is the school system has the adult continuing education program where people can go and get their GEDs, take nursing courses to become CNAs. I myself took advantage of the adult continuing education program, which I got my GED because I had some family issues that caused me to drop out of school. And I'm glad to say that I finally have completed the GED, and I'm pursuing the process to attend BSU. Petersburg still has some roads to climb. We're not going to, be 100%. We're in the process now of asking our citizens to vote for a referendum in November for a casino. I've been 100% in support of it ever since Richmond failed it the first time. When Petersburg came to the table after the first failed vote in Richmond, I was part of the conversation to say, hey, Petersburg deserves a chance. Whether the politicians say, oh, Petersburg don't deserve it, I am all for having the people give the yes or no vote. This is their city. This is our city. The elected people that are put into the places are put there by the citizens. No elected person should speak for a citizen when it comes to something that major going into the city. So now on November the 5th, the citizens have a chance to be a part to vote on the biggest economic development project in city history. This is bigger than Brandon Williamson. You're talking billions of dollars in the interim in investment and millions of dollars a year after that to put into the city's coffers. Those monies, if managed properly, can help build a new school, can bring down taxes, can improve infrastructure, roadways, invest in our city employees. So the current state of the city is strong, but we can be stronger. we can be better. But in order for us to be stronger and better, we have to work together as a team. No matter your political differences, no matter your personal feelings toward one another, this is a team effort from your local elected officials to the citizens. We all must be willing to work together no matter our differences, because the state of the city depends on us working together. So I'm a candidate running for City Council for Ward 4 this November 5th. So let's talk about the positive points in Ward 4. Ward 4 is one of the oldest sections of the city. We have downtown, we have Pocahontas Island, which until we are proven otherwise is the oldest free black community in the United States. It is part of the Underground Railroad. Nat Turner has history. And if you have an opportunity, come and visit Petersburg and visit Pocahontas Island. You will be surprised that this little small island has such rich history. Now in 1993, that rich history was almost completely destroyed when a tornado hit Petersburg. The island was almost completely leveled. And what is so unique about Pocahontas Island and that tornado? It completely demolished the chapel, but the Bible was untouched. So people, if you go and talk to the residents of Pocahontas, they'll tell you the chapel was gone, the Bible still stood. So I believe that my faith is strong, and God had his hand on Pocahontas that day to say, no, not today. Petersburg is rich in history. We have good history, we have bad history. We have a lot of sports history. We have Blanford Church, we have the original Lewis Comfort Tiffany windows that also sits in Ward 4. We have Center Hill Mansion, which also sits in Ward 4. We used to have the Siege Museum that talked about the Siege of Petersburg and how life was during that time when Grant was advancing, and how people had to struggle to survive during the Civil War. But we also have a lot of black history here. We have the former McKinney Library, which was the main public library, that was given by the McKinney family to the city as a library, but they had to integrate the library. That was the only way that they could do it. Another positive thing is where we're sitting today is the Petersburg Public Library. Petersburg Public Library has been an integral part of the city. Before the main hub was built, we had 4 different locations spread out through the city. Now everything is under one unique location. The library offers financial literacy classes, computer classes, meeting spaces where city council meetings are heard. We have the beautiful mosaic tile that sits in a rotunda that was done by a local business out of Max Tile Company. Another thing in Ward 4 is the businesses, our small businesses, whereas most of them are mom and pops, they're independents. And that's what makes Petersburg so unique. We don't have a lot of chain restaurants. We don't have a lot of chain stores. Our 2 main chain stores are Walmart and Food Line. Everything else is independently owned. And that's what makes Petersburg unique. I'm not saying we don't need chain stores and chain restaurants, because we do, and we want them. But the backbone of the city is built on our mom and pops. Where do I see Petersburg going? The future of Petersburg is bright if we work together. We have a long ways to go, but by working together, we can get there. As I stated, I'm in support of a casino, but if the voters say no, we need to have a plan. We need to have a plan to advance the city without having a casino. We need to be more aggressive in economic development. We need to be more aggressive in our city workforce investment. Because if we invest in our city employees and invest in our workforce, we give them the fighting chance of an opportunity to advance and to stay here. By not investing in them, they look for other opportunities in different localities. So we lose that talent because we fail to invest. Our city workforce is our biggest support system. We must invest in them because they have taken a chance and they became an employee here. If we see that an employee has room for advancement, we should watch that employee. If they have a good service record, then we should sit down with that employee and we should say, hey, I see this in you. I'm going to send you away for training. And then we have a position that we can move you up to. we must invest in our city workforce. We shouldn't vote against giving our city workforce raises. We shouldn't vote against advancement, and we should not hire outside of our worker bees, I call them, when we know that the potential is within the department to fill these hard to fill positions. The future is strong, but we have to work together. I keep saying that because that is the most vital thing. Nothing will get done if division stays on city council. And if the voters elect me in November, I can bring the promise that no matter the differences I may have with the other six city council members, I will work together, whether I stand alone or stand as a team. This is a team effort, and we must work together to advance the city, because the future is what we make it.